Hello, my name is Summer Robinson. I'm a space teacher at Oak Grove, Bellevue, and Red Elementary, and I wanted to share a short mini lesson with you guys on analogies. What is an analogy, first of all? Analogies are comparisons of two things that are usually thought of as being different, but they actually have something in common. Analogies can help us understand something new by comparing it to something that we already know. And having a really good understanding of analogies can really help you build your vocabulary and your verbal reasoning skills. An analogy can be written as a word problem with two pairs of words. For instance, I have up is to down as cold is to hot. When you see the words is and to and as here, a lot of times when you see analogies or read analogies, you may not see those words there. Instead, you'll see colons. They take the place of those words. That doesn't change how you read it. You still read it the same way. This is still read up is to down as cold is to hot. And when you're looking to solve analogies, you really want to pay attention to the relationship between the first two words, up and down. I know that up and down are antonyms. So that means that whatever the relationship is between these first two words, the same relationship must exist between these two words. So whatever relationship these two words have, these two words must have the same relationship. Up is to down as cold is to hot. Up and down are antonyms, cold and hot are antonyms. Many times we can use analogies to help us figure out the meaning of unfamiliar words. When one set of words is more familiar than the other, the meaning of that unfamiliar word stands out. You can use what you know about the first relationship to help you figure out the meaning of the word in the second relationship. So I see here LeBron James is to basketball as Lionel Messi is to soccer. So let's say that I had never heard of Lionel Messi before, but I know who LeBron James is, I know what basketball is, and I know what soccer is. Well, I can infer just because of my background knowledge and what I already know, I can infer that Lionel Messi must be a really good soccer player because I know here LeBron James is a really good basketball player. And whatever the relationship is between the first two words or concepts, the same relationship has to occur between these two words, okay, or concepts. So LeBron James is to basketball as Lionel Messi is to soccer. Silly is to serious as first is to blank. What word do you think best finishes this analogy? You can look at the first two words and determine that they are antonyms. Silly and serious are antonyms, words with opposite meanings, right? So that means that the second set of words, first is to blank, must also be antonyms. So I have to think to myself, silly and serious are opposite. What's an opposite or an antonym of first? Silly is to serious as first is to last. If you said last, good job. Apple is to fruit as hammer is to blank. Well, I know that an apple is a type or a kind of fruit. So I need to think hammer is a type or a kind of what? Okay, because it has to have the same relationship. Apple is to fruit as hammer is to tool. Letter is to word as toe is to blank. I know that letters make up words. So letters are a smaller part of a whole, which is the word. Okay. So letter is to word as toe is to blank. I know that a toe or toes make up a foot. Okay. So letter is to word as toe is to foot. Ruler is to measure as pencil is to blank. I know that the function or the purpose of a ruler is to measure something. So I have to then think, well, what is the purpose or the function of a pencil? Ruler is to measure as a pencil is to think about it. Right. Sugar is to sweet as fire is to blank. A characteristic of sugar is that it is sweet. A characteristic of fire is that it is hot. So sugar is to sweet as fire is to hot. Governor is to state as mayor is to blank. This was a little bit harder. Governor is to state as mayor is to blank. Okay, so the more complex the vocabulary words may be, the harder the analogy might be. Okay, I know that a governor is someone who is in charge of the state, and I know that a mayor is someone who is in charge of a, think about it, a city. Addition is to subtraction as multiplication is to blank. Well, when I look at addition and subtraction, I know that subtraction is the inverse of addition. So I have to think to myself, what is the inverse of multiplication? Addition is to subtraction as multiplication is to, what do you think? Division. All right, so let's try some of these multiple choice ones. Which of the following phrases best completes the analogy? Spider is to web as blank is to blank. Well, I look at the relationship between spider and web, and I know that a spider makes a web, right? So when I look at my answer choices, I have to choose something that has the same exact relationship. Ride is to horse, Joey is to kangaroo, beaver is to dam, tail is to monkey. Well, I know ride doesn't make a horse, Joey doesn't make a kangaroo, beaver makes a dam, tail doesn't make a monkey. So the best choice has to be beaver is to dam. Cheap is too expensive. So before I even look at my answer choices, I want to think about the relationship between cheap and expensive. I know that cheap means something doesn't cost a lot, and expensive means that it does cost a lot. So those words are antonyms. So when I look at my answer choices now, I know that I have to find an answer choice that has antonyms, a pair of antonyms. Sour and tart, are they antonyms? No, they're synonyms. They mean similar, they're words that have similar meaning. Tardy and punctual, I know tardy means to come late and punctual means to come on time. So I'm going to leave that there, but I'm going to check the other two just to be on the safe side. Wealthy is to rich. Wealthy and rich mean the same thing. Jealous and envious. Jealous and envious also mean the same thing. So the best choice would be tardy is to punctual. Shell is to nut as blank is to blank. Well, when I think about a shell and a nut, I know that a shell covers a nut. I know that the nut is inside the shell is on the outside of the nut. So when I look at these answer choices, I'm looking for the same relationship. Banana is to peel, picture is to frame, bark is to tree, wall is to paint. When I look at those choices, I'm thinking, which one of these is going to be the best answer? What do you think? Bark is to tree. So just like a shell covers a nut is on the outside of a nut, the bark is on the outside of a tree. Okay. Now, what if peel and banana were switched around and it was shell is to nut as peel is to banana? Would that work? That would actually work. That's why it's important that when you write analogies, that you pay attention to the order. You can't switch the words around. Whatever order this first relationship is, shell is on the outside, nut is on the inside, then when your answer choices, they have to also match up. Bark is on the outside, tree is on the inside. If this had said peel and banana, that would have been a good choice as well. All right, so now it's time for you to write your own analogies. You can take out a sheet of paper and a pencil if you don't already have one out. And I want you to look at these 5 analogies. You have microwave is to heat, blank is to blank. Okay. The analogies are not finished. That's what you are going to do. You have to look at the relationship between the first 2 words and come up with a second set of words that would complete this analogy. I really want you to think about things that you're interested in, things that maybe you learned about in school, um, things from your content knowledge, maybe in science and social studies and math, and see if you can figure out how to complete these analogies. Okay. So I'm going to give you a second to copy down the analogy starters. And then when you have a chance, maybe after this video is over, you can go ahead and finish filling them out. Okay. And to make it a little bit more challenging after you've done that, you're going to write your own analogies completely from scratch. So I have synonym and antonym. type and kind, characteristic, part to a whole, and function and purpose. Those were a few of the different analogy examples that we looked at. See if you can come up with your own analogy just from scratch. Think of two sets of synonyms or two sets of antonyms that would help you to come up with a really cool analogy. And even it doesn't have to be something from your content area. You can also include something that you're interested in, maybe outside of school, a sport that you play or anything like that. Sorry, skip mine. Let me go back. Once you've done that, it's always fun to kind of integrate a little art into everything that we do. So once you come up with your own analogies, you can make a little analogy poster where you illustrate the analogy that you choose. So choose your favorite analogy and illustrate it. Ring is to finger as hat is to head. Okay. I didn't actually draw this, but this is a good picture. I wear a ring on my hand or my finger, and I wear a hat on my head, or he wears a hat on his head. So ring is to finger as hat is to head. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed working with you guys on analogy. I hope that you guys have had fun with this lesson, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks so much.